snatch them out of the devil's kingdom. Oh, snatch them out of the devil's. And if they don't want it, don't fuss it. And if they refuse it, then dust your feet out the door and keep stepping until you find someone who trusts. The name of the Lord is where I'm hidden, and all I do is
that's right. Come on. Lord, Jesus, we're changing. All right. To die for. So that's all it is for. Hey, what's going on, people? What's going on? What's really going on? My name is Snatcha.
What's going on? What's really going on? Why are you always asking people what's really going on? Do you really want to know what's going on? You really know what's going on.
On things in this life. What's going on?
What's going on?
What's happening?
Okay, he goes by the name Snatcha, and I go by the name Nikki Laoye. Nikki Laoye. It's the Meet The Snatchas Podcast, Season 1, Episode 3, and it's the one we know you want to hear of.
No, what makes you think they want to hear it?
You know they've heard our personal stories. Now they want to hear our joint stories.
Did anybody tell her that one?
They be sending me messages.
Who is sending you? No. Okay.
Yeah, so we know you guys have been looking forward to this episode. Thank you so much, of course, for being a part of the first two episodes, Nikki's story and Snatcha's story, where we actually opened up, about our own solo journeys through divorce and loss of a spouse. And of course, we were just able to try and cage it, or should I say, express it as little as possible.
Because there's talk.
There's just so much. We just can't say so much in so little time.
No.
But we know
you don't have that much time on paper.
And we've been getting amazing feedback, actually. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your questions. And like we said, we are actually making notes of everything that you've been sending to us. And we're going to have a dedicated episode that is going to be to actually address all the questions that have been coming to us. Please keep them coming. And we look forward to actually, encouraging you in our own little way. And today, it's all about finding love again.
No wonder the thing is sweeting you like this. You're finding love again.
I like to talk about love. I'm such a lover. I like to talk about love. Oh, my love. You don't enter one chance. But I just love the way we want to talk about this, because we're coming from two major difficult areas to find love again. Especially when you've either been through a divorce or you've lost a spouse. You are finally in one place that kind of is a place like limbo. You're in limbo for a while because you're like, should I stay here? Like, okay, I'm no longer married. Or my husband has moved on, passed on. Should I get married again? What's the point? I already have children.
Should I get married again?
Should I get married again?
How soon should I get married again?
Yeah.
What's the waiting time for me to get married again? How do I express openly my love for the spouse, for this new person again? I mean, what's holding me back? Or should I hold back? Or, should I compare? Should I not?
Because we're in different scenarios, because especially when it comes to the issue of people who have been divorced before, there's the talk of, God hates divorce, and it's said that, you should not get married again. You have to wait till the partner dies. Or I know that there are scriptures that says, stuff like that. And, there's this tussle and this argument back and forth, like, should you really get married again after a divorce? And for me personally, in my own personal walk with God, I do believe that, yes, you actually can find love again. For me, people want to argue about that. But for me, I feel like God hates divorce the same way he hates liars, he hates cheats, he hates murderers. God actually hates a lot of things. But there's been the space of what his mercy has helped to cover, so that even when we make those mistakes, when we go through those directions, it doesn't mean that we cannot start a new life in Christ. Again, that is my own personal understanding, that, you know, you can actually have made those mistakes, made a mistake of a divorce. And the truth is that some people actually had to get a divorce because of domestic violence. So are you saying that someone that was coming from that kind of situation should not find love again, should not try to get married again? Isn't that, even the Bible says you should be, I'm trying to remember those scriptures.
Which one?
The ones that talk about, you know, so that get married so that you do not fall into I think, something like that. You know, there's scriptures like, because the truth is, I believe that, you know, God knows these things. God knows what we've been through, and he gives us his mercy. His mercy actually speaks for us. And I believe his mercy speaks for us to actually have new beginnings again. I know there'll be people out there that will disagree with me.
It's all right. It's all right for people to disagree.
You know, we all have different levels of understanding and relationship with God.
But I really feel that you cannot cage yourself into, I mean, you're not going to work out for something like just because you feel like or whatever. But God is a lot more. You know the story about David, when I think you're not meant to go into the temple and eat the showbread, and he and his guys were just back from war and they were hungry and they had to. My point is really, God is more concerned about.
No, and they went in. I think he said I finished that story because not everybody knows that story.
Yeah, because they went in and they did eat the bread because they were hungry, or else they would die, and it was left for the priest. Some will argue that David was also in the office of a king and a priest. But the thing is, yes, and we're also kings and priests. The thing is, God is more concerned about you.
Yeah.
About you than rules and laws. He's more concerned about you. If you are not safe, he's more concerned about you. So he's coming to get you. And if he needs you to be out of there, then you need to be out of there. Yeah,
and I just believe that his mercy has actually given us the opportunity to actually get second chances, because you're not going to that new marriage or new love because you're like, God, I really want to give this another try again. I really want to get this right. I really want to love right. I really want to walk with someone and align with your purpose to actually, you know, create a kingdom unit of you right here on earth. And that is actually what I was moved by. But now coming to a personal...
Yeah, let's bring it
personal. For me personally, it wasn't easy to get here. I personally thought maybe even after my divorce, I actually thought, well, I don't think I'm going to get married again. I just felt that way, you know, and I just felt that way because a part of me was scared. A part of me was actually scared like, wow. To now do this to find somebody again, start dating again, you know, and at that age, I was already in my 40s. Yeah. So like my 30, I was 39. Okay. Between 38, 39, going to 40. And I'm like, at this stage, I'm going to start doing this whole finding someone to date again and all of that. I was like, God, how am I going to do this? And at the same time, I was just thinking, okay, I never born. I've not had my kids yet. And, you know, you're also having that thought of, I would really love to have children of my own. But at the same time, you're like, before I meet the guy, before we would date, before we marry, before I'm pregnant, I will already be in my 40s, which actually is where I am right now. I'll be already be in my 40s. To start thinking of the whole, can I, you know, a lot of things just start going through your head. So at that point in time, of course, by the time I was going through my divorce and all of that, I was still in my 30s, my late 30s. I was already thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe I should get a sperm donor. I'm being realistic. Yeah, I actually thought about it as a like, okay, I could either go to get a sperm donor in the sense I go to a sperm bank.
They have the bank like that.
In the UK, of course, I travel a lot. I'm well traveled, you know.
I don't know if it's union or
but seriously, it actually crossed my mind. I'm like, okay, I can actually go to a sperm bank and actually get a donor and have a kid. You know, before I turned 40, I actually thought of things like that. I was just going crazy about it, and I was just like, but you know, I had to come to a point where I just laid it all at God's feet, and I was like, God, you know, I just don't know whether I should just be a single mom, just have my own kids and not disturb anybody. If I even date, we'll just be dating for dating's sake, not because we want to marry. I'm being realistic. The truth is that we need to be true to you to help a lot of people out there, because a lot of people are dealing with things like this. And I felt that type of way. But, I had to tell myself the truth. I said, Nikki, you're not like that. You're not those kind of girls that just want to have a child out of wedlock. You're not that kind of person that just want to do things anyhow. You're a lover. You love your fairy tales. You want to, have that, meet your prince, and, be a Cinderella and all these things. And everything. And I was like, Nikki, you know what? It's worth the wait. You've been through a season of your life. You've come out gold and you just want to, do things right. And that's why I made that decision to just wait. And the truth is that I just soaked myself up in God. I'm not trying to be spiritual because there's this tendency to say,
spiritual. I don't know.
No, you don't get what I mean. Some people say, and what I mean is some people think that sometimes you're just trying to say, and I'll stay with God. And God, no, but seriously, for me, I just let God love upon me. As in, my daddy's an amazing daddy. I said it in the first episode that, the kind of relationship I have with God was quite similar to the relationship I had with my earthly father. That is, I could talk to him easily, play with my dad. And that's just the same way I am with God. And I have these great conversations and these great moments with God. Literally, sitting down, we would gist, I'll come back home. And of course, in my apartment where I live alone, and come home and gist with God. And I was just enjoying my me time with God. God loved up on me, blessed me, sent me so much blessings, sent me so many open doors. As in, God was loving up on me like he was like my sugar daddy. I'll be very sincere. Like, God was just blessing me that at a point I'm like, do I even need a man again? I'm telling you, it got to that point I was
because
like,
you have benefit daddy.
yeah, my God of benefits. Benefit daddy, I like that, And those were the things that even inspired me writing songs like Who's Your Daddy and all those things because, I just have a loving father. But at a point in time, I started feeling lonely. You just wish you had someone.
I get so lonely.
You just wish you had someone that, you can talk to, someone that you can spend the night with, talk with, gist with and everything. I was just missing all of that, and I was like, okay, God, you know what? I want to do this again. And I was like, but God, I will only go where you lead me. I've learned my lessons and I just want to do it right this time around. And, I prayed about it. And there was one thing I asked God. I remember vividly what I told God. I said, God, where do you want me to serve next? I said, God, where do you want me to serve next? Because I'm also someone that just believes that love is great, when you're with the right partner. But I also believe that a union, a marital union is also for a purpose. It's also to achieve something. It's a place of service and all of that. So I said, God.
Did you date?
Oh, yes. I dated.
Oh, yes. Okay. So.
Yes, so that was when I finally got the energy and the ginger to actually start dating again.
Okay.
And
so tell us about your dates.
Actually.
They reached like 20.
No, calm down, 20. But I dated.
How your experience?
My experiences, okay, like I they were more, I was looking more for older people, like someone
50,
older 95. Than me. Not get out, but I'm someone that age is not a number. Is nothing but a number to me. But
that's what I actually said to Aliyah.
Leave that one out of this right now.
Okay, go on.
But seriously, age was nothing but a number to me. But at the same time, I just felt like I wanted someone mature, and I was just like, God, in whatever way it will come. And I actually dated a bit, and I even dated a white American. I dated him briefly. I actually thought that was the person I was going to marry. So I don't say I was moving to the American. International things. No, seriously, because he was like the most serious. So at a point, I actually thought I was going to relocate to America and all of that. And even there was even a church at that point in time that was also offering, trying to offer me a job to come and help out, build their music department in America. So I literally thought my life was going to America. Until the Lord turned me around. And the Lord literally led me to the UK.
You can go back to America.
So that's, and I just didn't see this friend of mine coming.
Oh, don't touch me.
Now America won't go. But God led me, because I knew, I also, see, we serve an amazing Father. That's one thing I would say. I keep saying it over and over again because God knows your fears and God knows the thoughts that are going through your head. And one thing that I know I kept telling God was, God, the while of meeting someone new. It's okay to meet somebody new, don't get me wrong, but we all have our different preferences. And I was like, God, how do I start meeting somebody again, dating again? Of course, I dated and met new people anyway, so I was ready to give it a shot, but at the end of the day, God led me to someone.
What were the experiences like? What It didn't work out.
My dates.
Yeah.
Of course, it didn't work out. If it had worked out, would you have put a ring on it?
As in the why now? What's happening?
No, it wasn't like there were issues. It was just at the end of the day,
It just wasn't.
we're just not going in the right direction. That was it, basically, and we just, I think both of us, or like the people I was dating, were like, okay, we're not sure we're going in the right direction. And we were quick to tell each other the truth and move on. No hurts. We're still all good friends still today. And that's another thing that's very important. It's okay to go out and date again, and be sure of what you're looking for. Be sure of what you want. Pray about it. I actually wrote everything I wanted. I actually told God everything I wanted in my next marriage. I told God everything I wanted in my man. And I told God, to work on me and also make me a better person, a better version of myself as well to him whenever he shows up. And the truth is,
did he give you everything you wanted?
God gave me everything.
Why didn't you ask for 100 billion thousand pounds? You see how many people are? You didn't ask for that. Okay, you should also have 100 billion thousand pounds. Maybe God would have just credit my account. I'll be how you people say. I think it's harder for me.
Yeah.
I think it's harder for me. Number one, I had to.
It was harder.
It was harder. It was harder, and I'm saying generally, because first of all, is you put your pressure on yourself. Mm-hmm. Put a limit on yourself. Society puts a limit on yourself. Then there's also what will people say, pressure on yourself, in the sense that I think people have this idea that, when you lose someone you love so much, how dare you try to be happy again? How dare you try to find joy again? If you're happy, be happy in the private. Don't let people see that you're happy. Are you happy that your spouse passed away? Now, you have to consider that the spouse came out of a family, and how would they feel when they see that you're happy? How would they feel when they see that you're joyful? So these are, the truth of the matter is sometimes these family members probably not thinking that. So that's the pressure you've put on yourself, maybe society, whatever, and all that. And it's hard for us because, especially the fact that we are somewhat, or we are known people. Yeah. And this age of social media. So you're thinking, if I post a picture of me smiling, is that all right? If I post a picture of me happy, I remember your divorce when you still do dances and
people were sending some of my friends messages that why is she smiling? Happy? Why is she laughing?
They're crying for you.
Why is she happy? And I'm like, you guys want me to be crying on social media?
So I think for me, I wasn't looking.
Yeah, that was.
I wasn't looking. I wasn't searching. I wasn't ready. I didn't want to hear it. People were, sound like you, that. Your market is somehow maybe it's Oyinbo. I've heard people say maybe it's Oyinbo that will marry you or whatever, and I wasn't searching. But I felt that even on the note of me just really being happy, I felt that I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to go to that dark place. So I wanted to, get out of that place and do the whatever. So, but I remember on the first anniversary of my wife's passing, when I went to her graveside, I went with the purpose and the thought of, I want to be free from a cage that society has put me in, and the cage that I've put myself in, I've allowed myself to go into. I want to be out of that cage. So I went to, and it had nothing to do with dating. I wasn't ready. Well, I felt I wasn't ready. I wasn't even considering dating or anything. But I went to her graveside and I said that because sometimes we need to let ourselves go. Yeah. We need to let the hurt go. We need to let the pain go.
True.
And I said that I thought about it. I said that while she was here on earth, I worshipped my wife. I served her. She did the same to me. There was no words left unsaid. I miss her. I wish she was still here. But I'm happy that I believe that she's in a great place. And that's not what you say. Just say to people who have passed away. I was like, I can't, that's it. She's all right. And all that. I made a promise to her that till death do us part. That was the promise. I did not fail on that promise. I wasn't perfect. I mean, no marriage is perfect, but we were good and all that. And at this point in time, I was like, when you make a covenant with someone or you make a deal or a pact with someone and you're like, I have fulfilled the terms of this contract, of this covenant. I fulfilled it. I can be released.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I know she's not inside their grave and all that, but, I just took it as a sign and I said, and I took a token there and I said that I've been released. And I'm not like released, hey, yeah, let's go, let's hit the clubs, where the ladies at, yeah, where's I used to play with a friend of mine, she'd be like, find me on Mawobi, and all that. Don't you have any friend with loose morals? And that was just,
just a joke.
Yeah, it was just because, there was a particular point in time I was feeling that, I now started feeling alone, I started feeling lonely, so when I said all of that, I was like, that was done, I can step away, in the sense that I can be happy, I don't have to, because what I've been doing up until then was, I was happy, but I know that people would think, why are you happy? So I was like, okay, let me put up a show now, but I know what I believe. I'm like, look, I can't live in that cage, because what would happen is I would slide to that darkness.
Yeah.
So it now got to a point where, months down the line, of course, you came in, and because at that time you're like, let me help out. And you were helping out and helping with the children. I was doing my thing. I just finally liked the fact that I got some time off and all of that. So the times that you were around. But when it got to a point where I felt, all of a sudden, it was just so sudden that it was like, it was just so sudden, like, nah. And the reason why the nah was like, I'm like, she's tiny.
Ha!
When God brought the thoughts, I was like, because I knew it was God, because generally I would not think to that side. Or maybe she has small body and she has, I was like, God, to be real, I was like, God, she doesn't have, you understand? The hair.
He used to like big things.
Yes.
Yeah. He likes big things.
What I want to do with this?
See life.
And I'm
it's being, I'm
going to be real with you.
Mm-hmm.
With you, in the sense that, sorry, you're not LA, but I'm going to be real with you. And you guys, those that know me and those that know Nikki, know Nikki. I'm like, Nikki's too much.
Never too much.
Hey, clever. I mean, God, you remember that? And it's like, we love Nikki, but hey, Nikki's excitement. There's certain people like, I love your buzz, I love your excitement, but I can only take you in small doses. Just give me small and go. Don't come again until maybe like 20,
ball of energy.
20 weeks. Come back, give me another 10 seconds. Go. She was that. I'm like, she's so much. I'm like, all these go to TikTok. I'm like, get in TikTok. Well, I just said, nah, it can't happen. So I kept denying that. I kept pushing that away. I kept like, nah, it's not. And I felt that, and I felt, God, it's not fair, because He set me up.
But God is a big time setup.
Because I kept pushing it away, and I kept thought, okay, if you know what, instead of if you think that I'm ready, why don't I go search? Why don't I go and find on my own? I mean, why don't I have some people I'm talking to, let me start, if it dance, I can slide, let me, this is a chance for me to show that I still got game. I still, I can still, so, but I mean, and I wasn't looking for some, wham bam, thank you ma'am, I wasn't looking for, I wanted, something serious, like, okay, then let's, but he kept pushing me that way. And I would deny, that's why, because a lot of people will call me and say that, we be telling you sis that what of Nikki? I said, that's my sister. Because the truth is, as at that point,
Nikki was really a sister.
That's my sister. For
real.
And but when I got there, I said, but when I was sure, because I mean, how do you know? I don't know, because when I saw my late wife, I saw her and I said, that's my wife. And I was like, look, I'm sure. No time, let's wait. No wasting time. And at first, we were like, why are you such in a hurry? I'm like, because I know. So that no came, I knew. But I was still trying to fight it. I was still trying to deny it. And eventually, when I embraced it, that was when
that's when he now spoke up.
That's why I was like, look, I don't know who's been whispering to you or not. I don't know. I know say one boy call carry you the other day. Who is his daddy? But I want to someone shalaye.
No, speak English for him. Some people know you.
I don't know sometimes.
Sometimes.
I just thought that, look, it's crazy. But this is it. This is what I think. This is what I know.
There was a particular sentence you said to me. The sunshine one.
Oh no! When you were farabale,
that was when you actually said it.
Yeah. But I said because I said that it's because I said I wasn't so sure that but I was fighting this and I was taking it back and you asked me how I know.
Yeah. I asked him how do you know, because I was confused.
I was like, it doesn't take a whole day to recognize sunshine, because I recognize because. And
give me a moment. I need a moment again.
That's how this is going to be. So, but I said the thing is, yes, I know you're helping out with the kids and all of that. But I said I'm not looking for a cook. I can cook better than most women. I'm not looking for a nanny. Shame.
Continue now.
I'm not looking for a nanny. I'm not looking for a childminder. I mean, my children are attached to me and all of that. But the thing is, I just, the way you love the children, the way you take it. All of that wasn't even factored. But I mean, that was really important. That was ideal because. I mean, I was sure that wouldn't be a problem, especially the fact that God already is the one pushing. Yeah. And I was trying to push away. Then I remembered, you know what? He knows what's best.
Yeah.
So why do I have to act like I know what's better?
And the thing was that, when he finally told me, I was like,
You were like, you're my brother.
I said, you're my brother. No,
I know you, brother.
I was like, you're my dude, man. I was like, please, don't let us spoil this friendship. I'm like, no, I said no. Like, we can't spoil this friendship. I'm like, no. Because we've been friends for like up to 20 years. And I was like, I have never looked at you that way. We've done so much work together over the years, literally been around each other so many times, even before we even ever got married. So we're like, we never looked at each other with that kind of eye. So when he told me that, I was like, dude, you know what? Please don't spoil this friendship. I'm here to help as friend. Whenever, at any time, I can fly in, fly out, and all of that. Our relationship, I'm not thinking so. And he told me something. He said, don't make a decision in a hurry. Like, please, can you just think about it?
I didn't say no. I didn't
say please. Hey, see
I
this
said go. What do you mean?
Hey, see this guy.
Please. See, I did not say please.
It's not his fault.
I said go. Think about it.
Last one.
Please. How to change to
Go, Joe. No, don't mind.
What see zip up card me?
See. No, you go boss zip up card for this loved one. Don't mind. Now that I put a ring on it, it's making noise. But seriously, he told me that I should, go. I should please. He actually said it. He can't remember. Me, I remember things. The woman that they tell things to, they remember things.
All liars shall go to the Senate house.
So he now said, I should go and pray about it. And the truth was, I was quick to dismiss it because I was like, please, I beg. But there was some, because number one, we're not even each other's type.
Yeah. Yeah, she's shallow like that. She likes yellow. I
like Oyinbo people.
It's not Oyinbo. You like yellow.
That's why,
yellow with dark knuckles.
calm down. Don't overdo it, calm down. The thing was that, we both had the types. I like both fine boys. That's why I actually said I thought I was going to marry the Caucasian American that I dated for a while, because I thought that was going to be it, but God had a different story. And of course, he likes big tits.
What do you mean
I'm slender. No, he likes big girls. He actually likes big girls. And me, I'm very slender. I'm very petite and all of that. But the truth is, we didn't know that God had hidden what we needed in each other. And the truth is that when he told me to think about it, I decided to go and pray about it. And I was like, okay, God, you know what? I remember that I asked you before that where do you want me to serve next? And of course, at this point in time, I'd fallen in love with the kids also. And I'd fallen in love with the kids also. And I was just like, okay, God, if this is you, number one, you have to help me out, because I'm not attracted to him like that. I'm not physically attracted to him like that. And all of that.
So if you want to not abuse me.
I'm not abusing you. Okay. But seriously, and I had to pray about it. And I told God, I said, God, see, if it is you, you know what to do. Make me fall in love with him. That's all I'm asking for. And I would know it is you. I had that personal, private prayer. Those kind of prayers, you don't pray to the ears of anyone. It's just between you and God in your heart. And I had that prayer and I left it. And months later, I remember I had come back, into the country to help out with the kids. And I remember that day vividly, I was helping him to record an Insta story. As he was trying to show himself taking care of the kids, he was combing one of his daughter's hair. And I was just recording. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, he has lovely eyebrows. And I was like, eyebrows. I'm like, oh, Nikki, when did you start noticing Snatcha's eyebrows?
Though.
And honestly, I just felt like God just said, she has noticed, lock it in. Bang, 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 bang. I have that vivid image in my head, and that's what God said. And God told the angels, oh yeah, lock it, she don't fall. And seriously, it was your eyebrows.
Don't put your hand in my eye now.
It was his eyebrows. Get out. It was his eyebrows I noticed first, as in like, and from the eyes, I was like, oh my God, he has lovely pink lips. And of course, I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. And all of a sudden, my friend started looking very cute. He's always been a fine boy. But when he started looking finer in a different way to you, and I just knew that this was God, because it just happened just like that. Just like that. And I was like, oh my God, and I told him, and I was like, okay, and I called him up and I was like, you know what? I think I have seen
the lights.
I've seen what you are.
Come and see the lights.
And, I told him, let's prayerfully think about it. Let's prayerfully go ahead, and just talk to God about it and see where this goes. And that's just what it was.
And in terms of prayers, because it's God, doesn't mean we can't mess it up.
Yeah.
So we both have to put in the work. And and talking about prayers, it has actually been the core of this relationship.
Yes, because, it has been the core of this relationship. Because I, and I'm sure her too, we've realized that our individual lives, our partners are great. Yeah.
My partner was great, and her partner is great. But the thing is, the fact that we are where we are now is God's leading.
Yeah, it was God's
leading. And if God has brought us together, there's a purpose, there's a reason.
Yeah.
And the desire is to find that reason out.
Yes.
To know what it is. Yes, the butterflies, the excitement, the
and they're very important too.
Very, very important.
We actually literally fall in love with each other every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
So the key, and the key, and also the key now is, God, okay, this new phase, what you want to do?
Yes.
Because you can lose that if you focus on people who are like, is it not just... Didn't just happen? How come because people will talk.
Yeah, people will talk.
People will talk. And what episode was it that we earlier? What episode was it that we were talking about? That don't look at the noise.
Yeah.
Of the crowd,
yeah.
The market noise. Listen to God, because people will talk, and most people shortchange their lives, shortchange their destiny
because of what people will say.
Because of what people will say.
Because the one thing people need to understand is people will talk no matter what you do. Remember the story of the man, the horse, and his son? Mm-hmm. There was no option they took that people didn't talk. When the man walked, put the son on the horse, they said, the son is wicked, the father is walking. When the father came down and father got on the horse and the boy was walking, they said, this father is wicked. He allowed the son to be walking. When the two of them got on the horse, people said, wicked people, they want to kill the horse. How can I told them, when they both got down and then none sat on the horse,
you guys
people said, now, well, see, dumb people, they have horse and they are walking. At the end of the day, the man and the son decided to just do whichever one they preferred, because no matter which decision they made, someone talked. So the truth is, no matter the decision you make, people will talk.
It is you God is talking.
It's between you and God.
It is you God is leading.
Yeah.
It is you. It is your life. This is your destiny.
Yeah.
It is walking you and the person. Whatever it is, it could be your dream, whatever it is, as long as you're sure of it, irrespective of what people say, no one can coach, no one can, no one can live that life for you. You have to do it. You have to live it. So, and also another battle is also the fear of, okay, because the fear of people is actually a prison. What would they say? Now, you're finding it difficult to love your partner, to show love to your partner, or to even publicly express it, because they'll think, oh, how come?
But people know Nikki by now. I do not send you.
It has nothing to do.
No, what I mean is that, you need to come to that place where you know what it is you want, and what God also wants for you, and that's all that really matters. Every other person will follow.
They'll be okay.
They'll be all right last. And
okay.
the truth is, for us, we just felt like it was new love again. Yeah. And we've never felt this way before. Never loved someone more.
Shameless plug.
It's only you and you do. Now that song has somebody I can sing it to.
I thought it was for God.
It's for God and for also the God in you. Hallelujah. Hey.
Should have bought 100.
No, but seriously, we both decided that if we're going to do this, we're going to do it with God.
Yeah.
And we actually pray. As we actually even decide, we have our prayer moments every day.
Prayer time.
We actually have our prayer time. Even when I'm not in the country, we actually pray across. We're praying. We're doing all of that even while we're trying to be sure where we're going.
And the prayer is basically for God to let us, open our eyes.
Yeah.
What's the vision? What's the plan? How do you want us? How are you leading us?
Yeah.
The children, our family. So it's a wonderful time, I think.
It's been a wonderful time, and the most important thing is also the fact that we're so grateful to God. It's as if the moment you open up your mind to the will of God, because it was actually God's will for us to be together. We found that out.
True.
But the truth is, God cannot force His will down your throat. Anybody out there that is longing for a partner, the truth is, God knows who works for you. But sometimes we are trying to box God into what we want. I want tall, dark, handsome. He must be driving car. He must be in America. He must be here. We're telling God these things. But the truth is, God is like, the guy I have for you is actually right there with you in Lagos. You are looking at America. Well, he's not necessarily 6 feet tall, but he's like 5 feet 8. And
God told me, share your list. This is my spec. What's that? Spec is in your eye. Remove the spec in your eye. And I also want.
But we're not talking about list. Sorry, so that we don't forget.
Okay.
It for me, when I said, because I mentioned earlier on that I actually had a list. But my list was not about physical characteristics. It was more of God. I want him to have a kind heart like me. I want him to be someone that is kind-hearted. I want someone that will be very sensitive. I want someone that loves you. I actually wrote it. There's someone that would love to have a family. Not even though he was already coming with family and children. And this one that would love family, children. I actually told God the things that I wanted. And that's why when I said that, God ticked all the boxes for me. Really, God ticked all the boxes, because this man right here is an amazing man. Indeed. Very, very amazing, super caring to a fault, and very supportive. Is very there for me, and literally over there, they worry him. And the truth is, I was like, God, so if I had done this, my usual grace, now, so if I don't miss this guy, that's how I would have missed him, because I would have said, hey, he's not my type. Because that was actually the first thing I did.
That's what I did too.
That's the first. I was like, he's not my type.
Way.
And I'm saying this because there are a lot of people out there that most likely might have missed their spouse because they said, she's not my type, he's not my type. Because we already have a picture of what we think God is sending to us. But at this point in time, I want to advise you guys, based on what I did personally, I had to break all that, the walls I had or the type frame I had, and allow God's will. And I told God, see, I'm going to allow you. Okay, if it is you, and God wants you to come to him with that mindset of God. Okay, you know what? I allow you, God, if it is you.
And that's one of the
things. And God will remove the veil, because that's what God then did. He removed our veil of friendship away. When I mean veil, that so we won't see each other as just friends anymore, and God had to move that veil, and we're like, oh my God, I didn't know.
And for me, what he also did for me was he did a work in me that I didn't know, but he was working in me, because I got to a point when I said to him that I'm not ready, he knew I was. He knew what was holding me back was the thought of tradition, was the thought of how things should, quote unquote, should be. Basically...
Is it time for you to move on?
Well, yeah, what will people say? Look, if I waited 10 years, people will talk.
People will still
If
talk.
I waited 20 years, people will talk. So when are you ready? When is ready? But you're ready when the job is completing you. And when the one doing that job...
When the job is completing
when the one doing that job is saying, now arise. It's time to go on. So, but the thing is, you now want to shorten it. You now want to disrupt that. Why? Because of what people will say. People will say that, is it that quick, so quick? Is he not supposed to steal money? Is he not supposed to? Why are you looking for the living among the dead? Why are you still? And does that mean that my wife doesn't have a special place in my heart?
No. She's forever
there.
With us. Yeah.
So that's why it wasn't more or less like moving on or anything. It was moving forward. It was still honoring my wife. And every single thing I do is to her honor. And being able to be free to express my love. Being able to be free to really, because I could get to a stage where I'm like, I want to say so much things to you, and I want to really celebrate you. But something is holding me back.
But you actually had that phase.
Yeah.
You've not even talked about that phase.
Yeah.
That phase of guilt.
The guilt of...
Yeah. Am I supposed to move on now?
So I'm now telling you I love you. And when I say, I love you, I'm like, yeah. So you can, and that's a cage, and that's a trap.
And that was something that you
that I had to deal with. And that's to deal with. But I felt in my heart that my wife is like, go ahead. And God's like, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm focusing on people saying, but God is saying, go ahead. And I feel my heart, she's saying, go ahead. Why am I
looking at what people are saying?
To what people are saying. Why does it bother me?
Because the truth is, at the end of the day, everybody's writing their own story. Even everybody out there that is talking,
there's no manual.
And it was just different things to deal with. He had to deal with the guilt of having to move. And when he now got to the point of me even looking at his proposal, I had to deal with the fact that he's not coming alone. He's coming with four beautiful, amazing children, but still there are four.
Oh, yeah.
Not be one, not be two, four. And I was like, oh, God, I've never been a mom before. And I was like, okay, it's a different case if I'd had a kid from my previous marriage or something. I would have been like, okay. But I had no experience apart from taking care of my nieces, my nephews, and
that's another
children.
Thing I thought about. I don't want anyone to bring all those Nigerians shouting on children to bring. I'm like, hey, God, I don't want someone to come and say, so certain things that.
But because I was very tush, I was already, well traveled and tush, so of course I knew how to handle children because I love children anyways, and I'm a baby whisperer, by the way. It's a gift, it's a calling,
and you're so amazing with them, and they love you.
That love. No, I think that was. No, but that was another thing that God used to tell me that I want you to help me. Because God actually told me, yes, I now remember this thing. Thank God I didn't forget. When I now prayed about him, God said, help me take care of my son and those kids. I heard God vividly. This was no be say my mind. I heard it and I started crying that day. And I was like, God, like that. 4 children, him, and I was just like, and God just said, Nikki, I'm with you. Just help me take care of my son and those kids. And I was like, he was like, Nikki, I've given you everything you need. You've gone through all the training you need to do. Now you asked me, where do you want to serve next? This is where I'm at. As God was so plain. Because I told you guys in the very first episode, if you haven't watched it, you can go back and watch it, that, I actually told God that He should let me know where I was going to serve next. As in, like, that was very, very important, for me, because I wanted to be sure I was walking in the right direction. And the truth is, it's as if all that lockdown, that period when I didn't even know anything was going to happen between us, because it was in that lockdown I learned how to, do so many things, how to take care of the babies, like literally multitask. You're changing diapers here, you're doing bottle, you're doing this. I was literally little mommy on the run.
I thought you were.
Yeah, He taught me well. He really taught me well. And the truth was, I learned. It was as if God was making me go through one school, and I was like, what's going on? I was actually saying that time that maybe I'm getting married soon, but I didn't even know it was Him. I was like, maybe something is coming. Maybe I'm getting married, so I'm going to start having my kids or something. I don't know why it seems like I'm going through this training school where I'm supposed to learn so fast, and it's just been simply amazing. And of course, 4 amazing children. And I was like, God, you know what? As long as you're with me, I know I can do it. As long as you're with us, I know that I can help to be a wonderful helpmate, to help to train these children, to help to, and then the children just fell in love with me. And I remember the very first day when little Rain, because all of them used to call me auntie. And all of a sudden, one day, the baby, Rain, just looked and said, Mommy.
And then Waterworks.
We froze because we're like, where did that come from? And he just kept saying, Mommy. And then he stopped saying auntie. And we're like, and those were just the things that God just let me know that I'm actually putting you here. Just stay in there and follow me. And I won't lie, since I made that decision, it's been the best decision of my life ever. Can't just say I'm glowing. And very soon, of course, by God's almighty grace, I shall be Mrs. Adiola.
And it was not something we orchestrated. It was something God handpicked.
Yeah, God did that.
And did. And because of that, I'm not listening to any...
And because of that, we're here now.
We're here now.
Because there's just so much God wants us to do together. And He knew He wanted us to build a ministry force together. There were just so many things that we were just aligning. And the amazing thing is that we are very alike in so many ways. We like similar shows, similar series. We play video games. As in, we are very alike, and we're like, so literally no boring moments.
Yeah.
No boring moment, really. Literally, we can be around each other for hours on end. We're not bored. As in, because we like the same TV shows, we like the same things. And it's just so much about us that was just obviously we were handpicked, like He said. Like God just said, I know these two will fit, let me just put them together. And I just thank God for the honor and the privilege, to be a bonus mom to these amazing, amazing children. As in, I keep telling Snatcha that he and Jay, they brought to life beautiful children. They're not just beautiful physically, but the way they've trained these kids, they're very respectful, very loving, very kind. They literally bombard me with kisses, hugs, I love yous. And it's just the same way I grew up in my own family. So it's like...
It's a love-filled home.
It's a love-filled home, like where I'm coming from. So it's like, it's just a continuation of where I'm coming from. Literally, I always say this, I feel like they're like the children I could have had. This is how my own children... my own biological children would be, that kind of thing. So there's no difference between them and even my own biological children. I love them to pieces. They're really mine in Jesus' name. God has given them to me anyway. Yes. So, yes. Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that's our story.
That's our story. And right now, sorry, I didn't know you were giving me hands.
But
seriously.
Yeah, that's our story. And I just want to say to someone out there who's feeling guilty that, and that God is saying move on. That.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was the fact that there were no words left unsaid. There were no, I wish I treated her better. There were no, I wish, we lived life fully. We did our best, and we were there for each other. It was a house filled with love, filled with laughter, and all that. And when God saw it, that it was time for her to go home, there was nothing I could do. Our contract is over. The promise was fulfilled. And God said, arise. It's time for the new journey. So, and also to loved ones and people out there who are really supportive to, a member of the family who's lost someone, be sensitive to them.
Yeah.
understand what they're going through. And, some people want you to move on when they want you to move on. And in the times when they don't want you to move on, they don't want you to move on.
Yeah, true that.
In areas where they want you to move on, they'll be like, get up. It's time to go to work. It's time to do normal things. It's time to do all of that. But when it's time for you to really be happy, your mental state, your heart, like, why? Because tradition is, what do you call it? Tradition is peer pressure from dead people. From your ancestors. Hey. They're like, that's how we used to do it. That's how it was always
peer pressure from your ancestors. Wow. I never thought of it that way.
But who came up with all these laws?
Yeah.
Don't punish yourself.
Yeah, you deserve to find love again.
Allow yourself.
Allow yourself to heal. And when you feel it's the right time to find love again, allow yourself. Don't walk into it thinking, hope this one will not be like that my former husband. Actually, I'm talking now to people that are coming from a divorce. And you feel like, I hope he's not going to be as wicked as my ex, or are you sure it's not going to be this? You can't do that. That comparison should not fly. You can't keep comparing people. The truth is that walk into a new relationship, a new marriage with a new mindset. Yes. A new mindset that this person is different. But do your dutiful checking, due diligence. That's the English.
Do your best and leave the rest.
Do your due diligence of ensuring that that is the person God wants you to walk with. I wasn't sure physically. When I mean physically, on my own, I had to take it to God in prayer, because I'm like, God, this one don't pass me, because I don't know if this is where you want me to walk into. I'm just coming from, a place where I made mistakes, and I don't want to make mistakes again. I just want to walk with you and be sure that it is you. If it is you, God, you know me, I'll give it my 100%. And the moment I knew and God confirmed it that it was him, he knows now. He knows now. Mm-hmm. I gave him my 100, like I'm not looking back, nothing. I said, this one, you've entered one chance. You are going nowhere.
Lord help me.
And my babies know that, the 1 to 3 mommy is not going anywhere. That's the name they fondly call me. And they know that I got them anytime, any day. Like I'm a serious mother hen now.
It's so funny that the other day, Seven was like, came to me and asked if it was okay for her to tell her friends in school that, because she's so excited.
Yeah.
And all of that. And
so guys, that was amazing though. She wanted to tell her friends in school that my daddy's getting married again, well, it's actually also wonderful to us knowing that the kids are a part of this. They really want, their daddy to fall in love again. And of course, they want their daddy to be with this beautiful auntie that they love so much as well. And, because that thing is very important to when it comes to, ending up with someone that already has children.
Yeah, because to be honest, one of my fears was, when you do the dating thing, they will not say, okay, this is auntie number 1. This is auntie number 2. I was like, no, I don't want that. And God didn't let me go through that.
Yeah, God didn't let you go through that. God is so good.
Well, I give God the glory.
No, but truthfully, we know we're still going to have to talk more about, step parenting and all of that, which is another ball game on its own, because I know I've gotten a lot of messages. I've seen a lot of comments where people are like, how are the children going to, will they love her? Will they this and that? How is she going to cope? And the truth is I have an amazing, I know it's God-given. The kind of relationship I have with those kids, it's
so amazing.
It's amazing, because you know that it's not me, it's not us that did it. It was just God. They are literally in love with me, and I'm deeply in love with them too. And the truth is, we'll talk about this someday in another episode, rather, of Meet The Snatchas, where we'll talk about what is it like, can you really love the children of your partner, especially when your partner to be already has children, or maybe you already have children and you're wondering if the person you're going to end up with is able to love your kids. We're going to actually dedicate a special episode to that one as well. So
thank you so much for joining us. And
what? Yeah, the usual. Now I have to tell them to follow us everywhere.
Yes. Please, hit the notification bell, subscribe.
Yes.
Follow us on
at Meet The Snatchers on Instagram, on YouTube, and of course, listen to our podcast on all podcast platforms, Meet The Snatchas. And of course, make sure you follow our individual pages as well at Nikki Laoye, at So Snatcha, and Meet The Snatchas also on Instagram as well. Just follow us everywhere, be following us.
And follow Jesus.
Follow Jesus. And of course, we just look forward to more opportunities to inspire you, motivate you, and encourage you. And we hope that today's episode, we've been able to tell you our own story of how we were able to find love again, despite the different solo journeys of our lives. Hallelujah. So, we look forward to catching you on another episode of our podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, and do. You know. God bless you. ABC, don't wanna be ya.
ABC.
Oh, Lord of mercy. 2, 3. See what I have to deal with. Cut.
You don't enter around one chance. You don't enter around. You don't
All we need is love. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Meet The Snatchas Podcast.
We hope it was an inspiring one for you today. And you know what? We look forward to hearing from you. You can actually send us your questions and comments via email, meetthesnatchas@gmail.com. Keep following us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet. We look forward to catching up with you on the next episode of the
Meet The Snatchas Podcast. And until next time, stay blessed.
Bye, guys.